All right, hi everybody. We are going to be doing the Boyle's Law lab here in just a moment. I just wanted to show you the equipment that we're working with. This is a different sort of chemistry lab because we're not dealing with chemicals. We're doing gas laws. So I have right here a gas pressure sensor. And this is something that can measure the pressure that's inside of this right here. This is a syringe that has air inside of it. And it has been attached to the pressure sensor so that the air is trapped inside. It can't get in or out. And so the number of molecules of air, or you could argue the number of moles of gas, or even the mass of the gas inside is being held constant. It's not going to change because it's trapped inside. It is hooked up to a sensor, a LabQuest 2, that is going to allow us to actually measure those, or to measure the pressure inside of the syringe. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off at 10 milliliters. You may notice on this syringe it says cc's. If you recall, cc is another way of saying cubic centimeter or centimeter cubed. And as you recall, that is the same thing as a milliliter, but we're going to go with milliliters for now, same difference. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start recording data. So I'm going to click this right here. And when I click that, it's going to allow me to start recording the pressure inside of my syringe. And here we go. So I'm going to adjust my syringe. This is tricky to do by yourself. If you were making up this lab for me, you would understand that. But I will do it by myself in my own home. This is a safe lab for me to do at home. So you can see that the pressure is changing and it doesn't stay totally constant, but it will sort of level off and stay reasonably steady. The reason being that it's really hard for me to keep it totally steady with my hands. But on top of that, the molecules are constantly moving around. So it looks like it's, staying pretty steady there. So we're 185-ish, and I'm going to click keep. And then I can release because it's recorded the data. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to record the volume that was in the syringe when I did that. And I don't know if you noticed, but I pressed it down to 5. Now you would think that I would just enter 5, but inside of the sensor, there's actually a little gas as well. And the manufacturer of this device tells us that it also has 0.8 milliliters, a really small amount, but 0.8 milliliters of air inside of this inside of the sensor. So I'm going to add 0.8 to each of my values. So this, it doesn't have the unit written here, unfortunately, but that represents 5.8 milliliters. So I'm going to click OK. And I'm going to look at my little data table here. And so my first event was 5.8 milliliters, and the pressure was 185.28 kPa. Okay, so let's go back to recording data. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to adjust the volume inside of my syringe to 7 milliliters. So I'll move my syringe there. And when I do that, it stays steady at about 137.2. I'm going to click keep. I like it. I'm going to let it go since I've already kept that data. So this time I'm going to type in not 7, but 7.8. All right, so that was the number of milliliters. Click OK. All right, let's do our next one. Let's get it to 9 milliliters. So 9 milliliters, it was actually almost there when I released it. So 9 milliliters looks like it's holding steady pretty close. Click keep. And so this time I'm going to type, that's right, 9.8. Click OK. So let's take a peek at our data really quickly, see how it's going. So we've got 5.8, 7.8, 9.8, and we've got a bunch of pressures. You may notice sort of a pattern there. That's kind of interesting. All right, let's go back. So now we've got 9. Let's go to 11. So now I'm going to have to start pulling on it because remember I started at 10. So I have to move it to about 11. And I'm going to click, it looks like it's holding steady. I'm going to click keep. And this time I'm going to put in 11.8. Click OK. All right. And we want to get a few more. Let's do 13. So I'm going to move my syringe to 13. Oh, it's starting to get harder to do. All right, I'll do my best. Hard to do by myself. All right, I'm going to click keep. And so that was 13.8. Whoop, not 13.88. All right, good. And we're going to do 15, 17, and 19. So here we go. All right, wish me luck. 15. I'll click keep now. All right. So that was 15.8. Remember, we're adding 0.8 because of the gas inside of the sensor that we're not able to measure with the syringe. All right, we got 2 more to go. We're going to do 17. Oh, this is getting tough. 17. Keep. 17.8. All right, fabulous. And then let's do the last one. This one's going to be the roughest, I think. 19. So 19. All righty. 19.8. Whew. Okay. Fabulous. Now, I want you to notice that while I was doing this, it was always sitting right here. I'm actually in my office at home, and the whole time it was sitting there, I did not, it wasn't like on a hot plate, or I wasn't putting it in a cooler and taking it in and out of a cooler or something like that. So what else do you think is staying constant? We mentioned something at the very beginning of the lab, but what is another thing that you think is staying constant during this experiment? Additionally, I want you to think, what's changing? Well, I'll give you a big giant hint on that one. What's changing here? Well, it's the stuff that we just recorded, the data we just recorded. So here's your data for you. Let's see if I can turn it so you can get a good shot of that data right there. And I believe we are done with the experiment. Thank you very much.